This is the minimum commitment, film theory in small doses, where the clocks don't tick and sink and love is a force we haven't learned to measure. I'm Don Lawler, film scholar, audio astronaut, and someone who's lost hours staring at the stars, wondering what time it is somewhere else. Let's get into it. It starts with dust. Dust accumulating in houses like a second skin. On the tables and in the lungs, it lingers. The air itself feels exhausted. In Christopher Nolan's Interstellar, the Earth is starving. Crops turn to ash. Education is falsified, rewritten to keep the future blind. Science is now propaganda, dismissed as myth. There's a moment in the film where a teacher explains, casually, that the Apollo moon landings were faked. A story invented to bankrupt the Soviets. It's taught as fact. It's delivered with kindness. And that's the real shame. History doesn't vanish in fire. It mutates in the classroom, recited as fact and swallowed as truth, where falsehood becomes routine and no one speaks against it. A lie in a textbook becomes a wound in the future. This is Nolan's warning. When knowledge is corrupted, the future collapses before it even begins. Our planet is out of answers, and time is no longer on our side. But what if time is only half the problem? What if the thing we're losing isn't food or oxygen or soil, but faith? Not religious faith. Belief in each other, in connection, in something that moves through time the way we move through space. Belief in something beyond the measurable. That's the paradox of Interstellar. It's an intimate study against the backdrop of the infinite universe. It spans galaxies, yet never loses sight of a single heartbeat. In the face of cosmic distances, black holes, and gravitational anomalies, Nolan dares to ask a question that science can't quite answer. What if love is more than a feeling? What if love is a force? The film is rooted in real science. Einstein's theory of relativity tells us that time is not fixed. It stretches, it bends, it slows under gravity. Nolan takes that literally. Whole years lost in minutes. What lingers isn't the physics, it's the cost. Relativity doesn't just bend time, it bends lives. Every equation carries the weight of absence, of promises broken not by choice, but by the relentless prison of time. The film treats time as a weapon, creating divisions among loved ones. The real drama is not about black holes or fifth-dimensional tesseracts, but about the distance between people who can no longer connect. Visually, the film works as formalism fused with phenomenology. Each planet isn't just a backdrop. It's designed to make you feel its physics in your body. The cold silence, the endless horizon, the crushing pull of time. On Miller's planet, that cost becomes unbearable. Some of the crew spend just over an hour on the surface, but because the planet orbits so close to the black hole Gargantua, every tick of time bends under gravity. By the time they return to their ship, 23 years have passed. Romilly, played by David Jassy, is the scientist who stayed behind, and is now older, weary, hollowed out by decades of waiting. And Cooper, played with heroic heartbreak by Matthew McConaughey, realizes he's lost decades of his children's lives in the span of a single mistake. That's relativity made visible, not numbers on a chalkboard. It's heartbreak stretched across the stars. Miller's planet is the most haunting. On the surface, it's nothing but endless, shallow water. No mountains, no cities, no life. Just a horizon that swallows you whole. If the planet is a reflection of humanism, then its position relative to Gargantua is symbolic. It's a world trapped in the pool of something too massive to escape. Like someone caught in the gravity of an abusive relationship, it exists under a constant, invisible force that reshapes reality itself. The pull is relentless. The distortion is absolute. Here we can talk about phenomenology. Introduced to film theory by Vivian Sobchack, phenomenology is the idea that environments don't just surround us. They shape how we feel, how we act, how we think. On Miller's planet, the shallow water, the blank horizon, the crushing gravity, all of it conspires to make the crew feel small and temporary. It's not just hostile to survival, it rewrites their perception of what survival even means. You can't live here. You can only endure it for as long as it takes to leave. Dr. Mann's planet, on the other hand, is colder, sharper. Its surface fractured and brittle, the light diffuse and gray. It seems deceptive even before any words are spoken. Dr. Mann, played with calculating desperation by Matt Damon, represents not discovery, but survival corrupted. His planet reflects his life, barren, cold, and hostile, dressed up as a chance at hope. Here, too, phenomenology applies. The environment isn't neutral. It shapes the people who live within it. On Miller's planet, the crew feels trapped in time itself. On Mann's planet, the sterile ice mirrors his dishonesty. The landscape fractured the same way his moral compass has broken. These worlds are more than destinations. They are mirrors, each one reflecting back the fragility of the people who land there. Through a formulous lens, Nolan reduces them to stark palettes. Washed blues, muted grays, horizons stripped of clutter. Sound is sparse, environments are bare, so that every breath, every echo of machinery feels exposed. And for Cooper, every surface he touches, water, ice, emptiness, is just another reflection of the distance between himself and his children. These planets aren't only obstacles in space, they're the physical embodiment of what time has stolen from him. Each barren world reminds us that time strips away more than opportunity. It erodes belonging, leaving only distance where closeness once lived. One of the film's most controversial ideas is spoken by Amelia Brand, played with measured conviction by Anne Hathaway.
Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space. Maybe we should trust that, even if we can't understand it yet.
It sounds sentimental, too soft for a film built on equations and orbital mechanics. That line isn't about ignoring science. It's about recognizing that not everything that matters can be quantified. Love isn't the opposite of reason. It's why reason matters. Without it, equations are just numbers. Missions are just flights. And survival is just breathing. Love is what makes those things worth the fight. Love is what carries Cooper forward. It doesn't calculate trajectories. It gives him a reason to follow them. Across light years and black holes, it's not equations that keep him moving, but the pull of a promise he refuses to let die. And for his daughter, love turns data into destiny. It transforms numbers on a page into the key that saves a world. In the end, it isn't proof she needed. It was a reason to believe that solving the impossible mattered. The climax takes us into the heart of a singularity. Cooper sees time as a physical space. It's a landscape, stacked and folded into infinity. Here he finds the exact moment in time, a single thread in an infinite weave that sets his time loop in motion. Cooper can move through this new dimension, searching for the exact point in his daughter's life when everything could change. He's not reaching back to rewrite the past. He's finding the moment that completes the loop, the one where his presence, unseen but felt, can give her the key to save the future. And then the watch, not just a gift, a touchstone. Its second hand stutters against time, a rhythm of dots and dashes, a code carved out of gravity itself. A father's devotion rendered mechanical, and his refusal to vanish translated into the smallest pulse a machine can hold. And when his daughter sees it, she doesn't just read numbers, she feels presence. The proof that love has weight, that memory can be measured, that even across the abyss, connection endures. Interstellar is a film about distance, between people, between moments, between what we know and what we feel. It's a reminder that even at the edge of physics, at the cusp of understanding, human connection still matters most. We are not alone, not because someone out there will rescue us, but because we carry each other across decades, across galaxies. We reach through time itself to say, I'm still here. I still choose you. That is not alien intervention, it's human resilience, stretched to its breaking point and still refusing to break. Perhaps Nolan's message is that our best future isn't shaped by what happens to us, but by what we choose to hold on to. Love, memory, truth, and the will to endure. It's how we move past the shadows of our violence and the light of our greatest achievements, transforming both into the raw material of something greater, an inheritance that reaches beyond what we've been. That's your thought for the day. Minimum commitment, maximum meaning. See you next time. The Minimum Commitment is produced, recorded, and edited by Don Lawler. Music by Don Lawler.